always say, like, moms and parents. They like you. They're good friends. They're close. I can tell you, I bet you they are.
What?
Real protective.
Oh, they are.
I was protecting one.
We got a full room. This is awesome.
My grandma.
Hello, Sheree. Hello, John.
Hey.
Thank you guys for joining us. I've thrown up the chat up here on our screen so that if you guys have any questions and you don't feel like talking up, you can just put it in the chat and somebody will let us know. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started today. Today is the 21st of February. I hope that everybody is having a good month. Looks like the numbers are really good for February. They were great for January. I'll go over those when we get to the agent meeting first weekend in March. But right now we're running about January, we were 57% ahead of 2023, and February, we are 55% above in the number of closings. So we're already at 28 closings for February, for January and February, which is fantastic. We are really above board at this point. So that's great news and great numbers. Who joined us? Oh, hi, Kristen. Okay, so our core value today, we reject the status quo and encourage innovation. We hate complacency and are always looking for ways to do what we do better. Our team members are encouraged to think outside the box and innovate. As a company, we pivot fast and often, always looking for ways to improve and find the better way. From a leadership perspective, that's what we do every Tuesday when we come in here. We are always looking for better ways to do what we're doing. And if we see that something that we're doing is not working, we pivot very quickly, thanks to Jimmy's leadership, to be straight up honest with you. Jimmy is able to direct us and help us get to a better place we have more visibility on what we're doing, and to help you guys better, to give you training, to give you items of value, if you will, a deliverable, something that you can put your hands on. This is something that's cool.
Jana wants in.
Oh, Jana wants in. Jana always joins from her other email. Where'd it go? There she is. Okay, so
I'll say something on that. That core value specifically is like my personal core value. My least favorite phrase in all of business is, we do this just because that's the way we've always done it. Like, you know, I feel like you've been to like worked at a company where like you just like get trained by someone and you're like, well, why do you do that way? And they're like, well, that's just the way we've always done it. And it's like, it makes me just want to like slap somebody. I mean, I hate it. It's the worst thing. And the reason that companies, like, you just see companies just start to like slowly digress. They have this like good core following, and then they just slowly kind of just go downhill. And the reason is because they don't adapt, they don't pivot, they don't move, they don't learn. And I mean, you know, it's the same with like people that don't adapt, they don't learn, they just kind of like sit at home and watch the same shows they've watched for 40 years, you know? And it's like, sorry, my grandpa.
That's my grandpa does the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. But like, you know, and then you just like digress, you know, and so with business, you know, I always am like, I get fed up with doing the same thing over and over. And you have to have a system, you know, your system and process, like our weekly meetings, that's a system. That's good. Like, those things are good. But in business, and the way, you know, I encourage you guys to, like, these core values are 6 apps core values, but feel free to embrace them. You're running your own business. Like, I want to constantly remind you guys, y'all are running your own business. And so this core value, you should adapt. Like, you should always keep this in mind. It's like, okay, this isn't working. My social media isn't working, so I'm going to do this. Or these Zillow leads. Like, if you bought Zillow leads 6 years ago, you were like cashing in. You know, it was like money. It was just printing money. Now, Zillow leads aren't as good. Like, there's more in the market. There's more lead systems in the market. It's just harder to get leads that way. So it's like you have to adapt and overcome. And so constantly kind of be looking for that. How that relates to me, every product, every quarter that 6 Apps is going to give you guys is going to be based on the feedback I get from you. And so if your business needs to change, or if you need a new tool for your business, I need you guys to tell me that. Like, and we will make a product for everybody that helps your business grow. So it's like, Jimmy, this kind of branding doesn't work anymore. This kind of marketing doesn't work anymore. This is what my business needs. I'll get everybody else, make sure everybody else is on board, and like, we'll give you a product for that. So, again, you guys are our customers, so we're here to serve you. So the more feedback we can, but that like settling, like, is something that we just will never do. That's like that. And I don't want you guys to do that either. So it's my favorite core value. It's like not my favorite, but it's like my top 3.
Okay. Well, I'm going to spin it a little bit here. So, the things I listen to, the things that I do, the things I see in the market, you guys see things from other realtors and the things that you do. My perspective is probably the same as yours, but just a little bit different because I see people doing things wrong all the time. Most agents are doing the easy things. They're picking low-hanging fruit. They're waiting for their phone to ring. If you've taken a Buffini class with us, you know the things you should be doing daily. Do them. Be intentional and proactive. I want to encourage you to score in 24 to thrive in 25, which is our theme for this year. Do the hard things. Let's educate ourselves better. Let's take CE classes. Let's help our sphere by educating ourselves so we can better educate them. Did I say that right? Let's help our sphere by educating ourselves so we can better educate them. So what that means is that I want you to be a little bit better than everybody else, because everybody else is out there doing the easy things. That's what all of these market disruptors are doing. They're doing the easy things. What set this off was this morning, I get the USPS email. You can go on USPS and they'll send you a picture of what's coming in the mail to you every day. Oh, yeah, you can go and you can sign up for that, and they will send you a picture of all the mail you're going to get, so you know what's coming that day. So I got one this morning, one called Home Go, and we're going to make an offer on your property, Brian, because you haven't gotten 70,000 from Open Door and Zillow in the last 4 years, but ours is going to be better. That's what I saw this morning, and that's what really led me to this core value. Is that's low-hanging fruit. If they're sending out, there's 9 million people in the Metroplex right now, so there's probably 3.5, 4 million houses, if I'm guessing. I don't know an exact number. But if they're sending out 4 million of those so they can get the low-hanging fruit. My listing that several of y'all have seen in Keller at $624,000, somebody emailed me yesterday and said, hey, we'll give you $325 for it. And I emailed back and said, we just reduced our price to $624. It's the best deal in Heritage. If we will look at offers above $620. They emailed back, oh, that's out of our price range. Then why are you offering on a $600,000 house at $325,000?
I'm gonna start making little offers, right? They're gonna go with that.
Okay, so you feel my frustration? Okay, so but that's where I want to lead you. Take those CE classes. Yes, you've got a license renewal coming up. It's either SAE or CE. Great. You got to get how many hours? 90? Yeah, for SAE. For CE, you got to do 18. Do 25. Do 28. Do more than what's expected of you, because that's going to make you a better realtor. It's going to make you a better advocate for your clients. Learn something new. Find Aaron and I were talking yesterday on our Buffini accountability call. Find a niche. Go, if you're new to this business and you don't know what your niche is, go talk to people. Go see what, Kristen and Megan do with leasing. Go see how they do their business. And, almost everybody here that has experience doesn't mind sharing with you what they do. I don't mind sharing with you what I do. I give it to you every chance I get, because those are the things that are going to make you better for your clients. So that's why I want you to encourage and innovate. I want to encourage you to innovate. Social media can be one of the ways that we get our name out to the public, but we must always be careful with what and how we do it. Holly and Taja are going to go over some basics you should keep in mind as you navigate the social media world in about 5 minutes. I got a couple of more announcements and then we'll get to it. So over the last week, I have been asked about 4 times for something specific to 6th Ave. If it's not on the back site, which it probably is, you can let me know. Somebody found something that wasn't there. Danielle, you found something. The lease was not on the proper place. just let me know and we'll make sure that it gets there. Check quick links on Slack because of all the stuff that I think that you need every day is there. Like the colors, if you're doing, social media stuff and need like the hex code, everything is in Slack. I put as much under that Slack heading under quick links as I could. I could put more in there, but I don't want to overwhelm you. Yes.
So, on Slack, I learned the wrong way, but if you put in search and somebody had like posted a link at some point 2 years ago, it'll pop up.
See, mine is not. Mine only indexes 6 months back or something.
Oh,
I wonder if you can change that setting.
You have to go pro. And
Yeah.
and Slack is rolling out this week, I want to say, a new AI. And they will have AI inside Slack, but I think you got to be a pro member to get it. So we'll look at that stuff. I don't know what the AI is going to do. It's kind of like maybe the AI and WeChat, the Lucy. No, that's built. It's baked. It's baked in. They're going to get it better.
I just don't want it right there. Like if I could click
I know, but I told Thomas that when I saw him. The trainer for WeChat was in Fort Worth, and I met with him when he was here, and I said, "Yeah, we need that to go away. At least have the ability to minimize it so we have more screens." And he goes, "Everybody's talking about it. We'll get there." So Lucy is going to get better, and it'll be able to help you find things in WeChat and do things in WeChat. So that's going to be a good one. Okay, signs are in, sort of. So I go over there this morning to pick up all the panels and all of your riders. They're here, but the frames were this wide and this tall. So all of our stuff would have been sideways. So I said, well, that doesn't look right. They're supposed to be 24 by 30s. He goes, crap. He goes, I'll text you in a little while and let you know when they're going to be in. As a reminder, Joanna and I have talked about this a couple of times. They may be a little bit more expensive than what I told you, about $30 per sign. And I'm sorry, but with the rider on top, and it will look better with the rider on top, the frames cost about $80 instead of 50. So that's the cost difference. I'm still trying to talk him down, but no luck yet. Okay. If your license coming up for renewal, please renew early, 10 days in advance. They are working about 7 days behind right now. So if your license is coming up, as soon as you get that notification from Trek, you can go ahead and go apply, and it will go 14 months in advance because you get it 2 months in advance. So mine expires March 31st. February 1st, I got my renewal notification from Trek. Immediately went. My license did not expire until end of end of March 26. So you get the full time. Doesn't overlap. But go ahead and get that renewal done. Get your hours done early.
I can't. So like example, mine expires October 31st, but I want to, God willing, not in the country. Can I do it like in August, September, beginning of September?
Beginning of September, as soon as they will send you and I a notification that says, hey, Maria's license is coming due at the end of October. She needs to renew, and then you have 2 months to get that done.
Okay, so I can renew it as soon as I get that notification.
And especially if your hours are already done before that, then you can go ahead and apply as soon as you get the notice. So name badges. If you want a name badge, I think you're already on my list. If you need a name badge, let me know. I can hook you up. Okay, I have something I want to show you guys. You guys have heard me talk about Denise Donahue several times with Benchmark Mortgage. The mortgage nerd.
What? Is this the thing that she sent out over the weekend?
This came out yesterday about the buy down.
Yeah.
Let me.
Ah, yeah.
So I'm going to show you this, and I'll take a copy of this and I will put it in Slack for you guys. But this is a buy down cheat sheet where she's giving you what you can do in a buy down from a seller. This is something that they're seeing on their side quite often. So if you've got 5% down, hit it again, 5% down on a $450K loan, the seller can contribute up to $10,186 for that 12-month buy down. 2 points for $10,000. And the way you frame this to your seller is, okay, so we've got this listing. Why don't we offer a buy down for $10,000 instead of reducing by $10,000? Or better yet, how about we reduce $5,000 and we offer $10,000? That's a win-win situation for a seller and for a buyer. Okay. So, okay, cool. Let me get that going, and then I'll stop presenting that, and I will start presenting this one. Okay, so let me make sure that I am where I want to be. I think that's everything. Oh, I do have a shameless plug. Okay, everybody knows my 14-year-old. He pushed my arm last night and he said, please, would you show your office this? And I said, absolutely, I'll show him.
What is that?
This is an earring organizer.
Earring?
Earrings. So this is just one thing. He built this from scratch. There's not a design for it online. There's only one company online showing it. Rachel Bass slacked me over the weekend and said, hey, and send me a picture of something. And she said, do you think your son could do this? So he built these.
Okay.
I can't see it.
Sorry, I'll go over there and the camera so you can see it.
Earrings.
Is that better?
Maybe I can change my, let me change my layout and see if I can find you there. Okay. Oh, there it is. Oh, an earring organizer business card.
Well, it's not a business card. It's a little bit bigger than a business card, but and he just put the 6 Ave logo because every time he comes in with something new, I'm like, that would look really good with the 6 Ave logo. And he's like, Dad, come on. But so this is something that Rachel said that she would like because she wanted to. She's going on a trip
Yeah.
and she'd like a way to keep her stuff. And I said, okay, cool. And she said, plus, I would just like to have it where all my earrings are organized and I can have them on 3 cards.
So you put your earrings on that thing and you put it in your travel bag?
Or in your
So our jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's thinner. It's thinner than your ear. We need to make sure that it was thinner than your ear. You stick it. You can stick your pairs of earrings through here, and then of course down the bottom you could do loops and hoops and.
Mine up there are studs, like you'd have to do studs, I guess, at the top.
At the top, 2 studs. But anyway, if the point is of this is, if you see something that you think would be good that you would like to have for marketing for you, it doesn't have to be 6 Ave. He can put your name and your phone number or your email address or your website. He can do that, and he can do it in 2 color. This is why this is a single color. Y'all can't see it online, but it's just blue. And then this one is black with red because he had extra black he wanted to use. So he can do these in multiple colors. But if you guys want something like that, anything that you can think of, if you can send me a picture of it, I can get him to try because he's got the software and he literally designed and built this. There was no design for it.
And what would he charge for that?
Depends. This one would be $3.
Oh,
No, I feel like he can. So
yeah.
Take 100.
The company that sells them online is selling them for $5 plus shipping. So you could get 40 of these done for $120.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Okay. So shameless plug. Grayson, I'll show you this video later. I did the plug that I told you I did. So,
Good,
Right.
I love it. I love that.
any questions?
Yeah, we can't see it just because you've got the big screen up right now, but is it a 3D print? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
he also, if anybody has children or spouse or whatever, his original 3D printer, he's putting up on sale for $135. And you can do things like this. The software works, everything. For $135, you can make your own. So if anybody's interested in that, let me know. And you can put it on eBay. I'm like,
How much do you have to, how much is this software?
well,
Or does it come with?
it comes with it. This particular setup is a complete 3D unit. It's got the software built into it. You connect it to your computer. You download free software there, and then you can tell that computer what to do, and it'll design it and build it. It's pretty cool. And the stuff that you build this out of is called PLA. It's just plastic. And a roll of this, which is it's this big, and it costs $20 on eBay, and they deliver next day. Any color you can imagine, any color like this pink. He's building phone cases for some of his friends at school because he's got one of them that's kind of soft, but he builds iPhone phone cases for them. So it's pretty cool, good stuff. That's enough for me. Social media and ladies.
Yes. Okay, so
Are you
you like my title of this? Why 6th Avenue agents are the best online. I didn't come up with anything more creative.
Only online.
Only
on.
Get us together?
Yeah. We keep that for now.
All
We don't
right.
talk about that. We didn't talk about Back Club, Daniel.
I didn't, you brought it up.
Are you ready?
Yep, we're ready.
Okay. How do I do this? Next. Okay, there.
Okay, so I will say, like, we talked about this a few weeks ago with Jimmy and Brian, just, like focusing on social media, because that's sort of a journey that Holly and I have been on where like we get lots of positive feedback about our social media, but we don't necessarily see the return that we would like on it. So we've kind of been on a journey like between us working with Jimmy and like how to be more effective, more intentional online, and having the correct mindset to kind of put yourself out there and grow. We were fortunate, 2 weeks ago, we went to the Baker firm in Weatherford and went to the influencer formula, which was a really excellent class. So if you can catch it, the ladies that teach it they were from Plano, Frisco, whatever. They're excellent. And so just a couple of things. So this is why I said we're the best. We have the mindset for building a brand online and a positive social media presence. So these were just some phrases or some things that stuck out to me to kind of have your mindset is the goal. The goal isn't to wear the brands, it's to be the brand. That's just, to become a brand. And I'm not saying like to be bougie or, showy or things like that, but just, to be an influence online that's positive, that's educational, that sort of makes it.
You are the brand. Well, and it's just like what we talked about last week is being genuine to yourself, being yourself. You're going to wear that brand. Your brand's going to enter. I don't know what word it is. It's all going to flow together. If you're yourself and you're genuine, you're going to reflect your brand.
Yeah.
In that way.
And so like one of the huge taglines from these ladies from Frisco was the most human company wins. And I think that's true because whatever content I put out there, like yesterday, Holly and I are sort of doing a challenge between ourselves for like stories. I did a video yesterday about taking methylated vitamins. I know that seems really sexy and hot, but for me, like I started them because of, some health things for me, whatever. And I'm like, I'm kind of sick of them, but I've been on them for like 60 days. And like, I do like, it's kind of silly, notice, better for other things. Well, like I got like 8 messages. Oh my gosh,
What is this?
Blah, 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 so it's just me sharing a snippet of, my behind the life and not me putting out listing signs or walking through a pretty house. It's kind of like, oh, okay. So that's just another one. Be a human in a sea full of flakes, and you must earn the right to sell. So those were just some good things that I think I stuck out is to, when you want to be a brand online, you kind of have to earn the right to do so. I'll let you do that one.
Oh, so how do they choose you if there is no you? So again, being genuine to yourself, building your brand, wearing your brand. You tell stories, you tell behind the scenes stuff, you demonstrate your personality. I hope we do a really great job of that. Like we actually were filming a video yesterday and it was a wife of the person we were doing it with. And she was like, I just love it because I feel like I know you guys and I feel like y'all are real. Like you're not trying to be stuffy, not real. So that's kind of sell more to sell less. So more about you than it is about the selling.
Yeah. And that's absolutely like the number one human trait that people are attracted to. Like when you want to read books about, being more attractive or being more of a salesperson or, is the number one heuristic is authenticity. Like people want to see
Genuine.
you're genuine because there's nobody goofier than camera. So one of the things was how to make a follower a friend, because obviously you've got a lot of people online. You may know them, you may have personal relationships with them. You may know them from school or church or wherever. But how do you make that person that you're friends with online or they follow you online? How do you actually make them a friend or somebody who's going to advocate for you? And so this was interesting, is that you need 7 hours of interesting content. That's a lot.
That sounds daunting, but really, if you break it down, it really isn't.
Yeah.
Like throughout the week.
Yeah.
So
So
a week. Yes. Okay.
yeah. So because that's how they engage, and then they engage with you on different platforms. Like it was very important, like to like have different. You obviously want people to see you in a lot of business. Your personal life, your hobbies. Your personality, but they want to see you everywhere. Your location is important too. Not only are you posting, but you're doing reels and stories and newsletters, email tags too, because you're building a brand. So if you're everywhere, I mean, you know, the algorithms, you know, that our phones listen to us.
And we're gonna go over that part of it in a minute, like to help you figure out where to post, how to post, and how many times and all that. So that's coming. So
Yeah, and the type of content
yeah,
that you're gonna put in these locations to get engagement. And again, this is like a journey that we're on.
Yeah.
So like art is not perfected. But you have to have 11 interactions with clients and followers to sort of start to make that transition. And you know,
and that's liking, commenting, messaging, again, emailing. So just some sort of interaction every week with 11 people. 3 simple tips for building your brand. So this was really not eye-opening, but I was like, huh. She told us to use a different profile image on each social because they're associating your personality. So they see this personality, they see this side of you, they see that side of you. And I just never really thought of it. Like I always had the same profile picture across the board for the most part. So I was like, huh, but that's true. She's like, they want to see you and they need to see you in different lights. So that was kind of her purpose on that. Repurpose content, easy and effective. So we talk about this, you know, if you record a podcast, you know, breaking it down to different, like 4 different reels, using it as a photo, you know, a cover photo, using it in different ways to be able to send out, you know,
that's sort of
areas.
like a plan that we're like devising right now is like sort of have a bucket. Like one of my things, like in my personal like real estate business, like I'm working like all with like 3 or 4 referrals, right? I've got like somebody like out of Salt Lake City and somebody out of Amarillo and Lubbock or whatever that I'm working with agents. So like one of the things that we're going to be focusing on next week is like I've made stuff for stories, you know, stuff for a post, and then stuff for a video that talk about agent to agent referral. And that's just giving it, you know, you're hitting it from every medium so that, you know, whatever agents you're working with, or if you've got somebody that's like, hey, I don't know an agent, but I'm moving to Oklahoma City. Do you know someone? And, you know, so I mean, so try to hit them from every facet where they're seeing it multiple times, makes a more concrete impression of, oh, I'm moving, I'm selling my house. I need to reach out to her because I know she has contacts. So just try to create the content where you can use it in stories, reels, TikTok, YouTube, email, wherever, that people, it becomes a concrete concept for them in your sphere.
Yep.
So they did say like the best thing, I mean, video is absolutely, it's like we need to create, and I would never would have thought this, but Polly and I were having a discussion, and then somebody else I was having a discussion with, I'm like, you know, it's like I just never thought of myself, like when I started selling real estate, of being like, almost like a TV personality. But like that's where it's going.
Yeah.
Like it's having your own TV channel and your own, you know, things, you know, to focus on. So like your face-to-face video is like, that's how people
Well,
get
one thing she sent me the other day, going along with this conversation, was most buyers and sellers are going to YouTube to find real estate agents and find information about real estate.
51% of all buyers, I'm such a nerd, I'm sorry, I'm just a
Statistic person.
find their realtor on YouTube.
Yeah. And so again, your
And I
face, your
ignore it.
video, your whatever, your graphics, whatever, putting them on a video on YouTube, again, it's more of the digital.
And I'm sure you can speak into this about how different mediums, how your algorithm will crawl.
I was actually gonna ask, do you all track your stuff?
Not really. I mean, we
We're
look
working
at
on that.
the analytics, but not like, well, that's something we are
There's a
working
website
on.
called Metricool. That's what my girl has me set up on, and it literally, you just connect all of your accounts, and you can actually plan it, like it'll post for you as well, but it'll show you like followers gained, followers lost, interactions, like
Yeah.
it shows you everything.
Metrical?
MERTICOL. And yeah, it'll show you like exactly like what's performing best where. So it's.
Oh, yeah, no, that is really good. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
We've used that several times.
I think it's free. Like you can upgrade,
Oh,
but I think
yeah.
That's
even better.
Experience.
Yeah.
MET,
Metra, cool.
Metra,
That's
cool.
Metra Cool. Okay, Metra Cool.
I can put it in Slack.
Will you? I'll go to the video.
Okay, next.
So she also talked about the EIEIO method. So no more, nothing out. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna do that video because I'm not, I'm not comfortable doing it. So you must entertain, inspire, educate, inform, and offer. So again, we're going to kind of go into some of that in a minute, but so again, just show your personality. We find better engagement with being silly. I wish it wasn't the case because we do want to educate people, and we try to educate people through being funny. And then inspire, just again, show your genuine self, show to them, show some positive, in the world. And that could be through your business or through your personal life. And of course, educate's huge. Inform them of the market or anything else in the area going on, like spotlighting, like we talked about last week, spotlighting, different businesses and things like that. And then offer. So, for what I'm going to go through a storytelling thing on that one. I can't remember where I was going with that one, but anyways, offering them, your services, offering what you offer, and then offering them, like, I know a lot of people not really in our business that like offer discounts and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, these were just some ending notes is consistency is not constantly. So I think when you're game planning, and I know like following the 6 Have Homes and storytelling, you can see the planning in that, but your consistency.
Yeah.
I mean, we get in a bad habit of just being sporadic and spontaneous about posting, and it makes you very disorganized and I don't know what the word I'm going to say, but constant. So I think, social media planning and having, what you're going to do every week and having goals of, is it 2 times a week? Is it 4 times a week? Is it 8 stories a week? I mean, what is your plan? And, that will just increase your activity and your engagement anyways, just your consistency. Perfectionism is the stand in the wheels of progress. Like, we used to sit there and record a video, literally 30 times. I've been like, wait a minute, my face looks funny, or wait a minute, you can see my crow's feet, or wait a minute, don't do that.
I stumbled on my
And
part
I'm like,
or
I
whatever.
don't care. Just do it. Like the other day we did the TikTok. I was like, I don't care. I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
just do it. Like, get it out there, because you get better at it. You get more confident at it, and you learn how to critique it better and make it more effective. But just get out there and do it. And then again, like, my whole thing is activity always breeds activity. This is like my number one rule, probably across the boards in real estate. It's just like, put something out there today. Something's
do
better
it,
than
yeah.
nothing.
My like one of the best tools is like you create like an adult and post like a kid. Like my son has a YouTube channel. He's like 10, and he has more followers than like the majority of all of my friends combined.
Mhm.
And he literally will be like, "Oh yeah, that's so funny." And he's like, and he'll be like, "Hey guys, I'm such a goat right now in this game. Check it out. I just scored this. Post." And it's like, he posts 2-3 videos a day sometimes, and he'll post like 10 a week. And I don't think he understands, he doesn't understand people are following him and engaging with him. He doesn't respond to any messages. He doesn't understand this is out to the world.
Yeah.
He has no clue.
He's doing it for fun.
He thinks it's going to 5 people.
Yeah.
And he is posting nonstop, and I monitor it. Obviously, he's not allowed. He's his access is like this, and I'm like, but so I don't allow people to engage with it too much. But every day, no joke, he'll have 10 people try to comment on his posts about stupid things, and there are other little kids doing stuff. But I'm like, dude, this kid is going to have a massive following just by posting the
Dumbest things. Yeah.
things that are the worst quality, that are just and I'm like, dude, how, and why does he get that? Is because he does it every day, all the time. It's normal stuff.
He doesn't
interaction.
overthink
He
anything.
doesn't
Exactly.
overthink a thing. And I use that as an example when we meet with storytelling people, because every CEO is like, it's just not a good video. It's just not. I'm like, bro, let me tell you a story about my son. And how he has more followers than your $10 million a year company. It's seriously, how stupid is that? And you can't get it right. So
Follow him to get ideas.
yeah.
Many followers.
That's not it? Okay.
It's a funny story though. So just post like a kid. Just send it. Send it.
Okay, let me add you to this one.
Holly is sending me something right now that I'll share with everybody. Hang on just a second while we get
Oh,
this.
wait, this one, but we updated it, so I guess it's not.
I just feel like we should create a 6th Avenue, like.
Not
tell
that
real
one.
estate stories, because I was telling Jimmy
Yes, that one.
this morning, I know Holly knows. I was, so my 4 best friends from high school came into town this weekend and we said, we're obviously not as fun as we used to be, like at all. I mean, 2 of them were sort of fun. The rest of us were a drag. But anyways, Friday night we went out to Joe T. Garcia's, and then one of my friends was like, "Well, I don't want to go home. I'm going with my kids and my husband." So we went to the White Elephant for an hour and a half, not long. And one of my clients walks in the back door. I was actively helping her and her boyfriend find a house, and she didn't walk in with her boyfriend. She walked in with Shane, and I'm like, "What are the odds in the once in 3 years that I go out in an hour and a half and I see one of my clients cheating on my other clients?" And I'm like, "God." So anyways, boyfriend texts me on Monday. He's like, "I'm not buying a house." And I'm like, "Obviously." I'm like, "If the market went that hard now." I'm like walking in the door like, "Okay, that's her, right?" Yeah, that's her. So I mean, I go talk to her. I'm like, "Hey," and she's like, "Hey, this is," and I was like, "Okay, this is
Not
odd." So anyway, I feel like we could have a stage show that talks about like,
All the craziness,
first,
yeah.
like, you can't make that up.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, this is gonna dive a little deeper into the like the aggregates and all the stuff. Is this what we get?
That's it.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was like gonna pop up bigger. Okay, so this is just gonna talk about when to post, what to post on the different platforms, feed versus story, and obviously Trek compliance is huge. We're a little nerdy. We are we try to be Trek compliant, although Tasha caught me the other day trying to be non-compliant.
She was trying to file it for housing.
But anyways,
I'm super dork.
Trek compliance is huge. And so if you'll just check yourself and what you're posting on social media, well, that's at the very end. And actually we can post that separately.
I can take this and put it right on slide.
But anyway, so, and these are, you can find 1,000,001 different sites to show you different things. This is one I went off of, and at the bottom I showed you where I referenced it. It was the one that had like the most generic. So this one I went with. So anyways, Instagram, this kind of like breaks down when to post and what the peak times to post, what's the worst days to post. Same thing for Facebook. We don't necessarily follow this. We should. We talk about it all the time. Again, we're more sporadic. We're like, "Oh, that looks good. We're going to post this." Or, "Oh, we forgot to post that. We got to post that." But
Holly needs to get it together.
I know I do.
How do you feel about the difference between stories and posting?
So we're going to go over
we
that.
talk about that.
And also your Instagram will show you when like your highest
Peak is,
active
yeah.
like followers are.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that straight through Instagram or is that through
Yeah,
the
no,
thing you were talking
Straight
about?
through Instagram, if you just go into your insights and
The
your analytics.
analytics, yeah. Same thing for links. This goes through all the platforms.
LinkedIn.
Yeah. So, okay, I got it on buffer.com. So
Yeah,
that's kind of where. Okay. So what to post?
resource page there.
Yeah, right. Reels. This is more to increase your brand awareness and attract new followers. So that's what's gonna try to get those new followers and attract
Yeah.
people.
What were the stats on people like your reels? Like nobody really in your sphere watches your reels. Like it's made that way so that you gain more. So it's more out there, like a great reel to make. Like if you're kind of dead in the water and you don't know where to start, you want some new followers or new engagement, is like go do a reintroduction. Like, "Hey, just in case you don't know me well,
Yeah.
I'm Tasha Kidd, Fort Worth, whatever realtor, like here's my hobbies, whatever."
Yeah.
Because it more engages people that are not in your sphere.
Carousel. So like the multiple pictures in one post. They're nurturing your audience with highly valuable information. Post photos and easy to digest information so people can look at your photo, probably read a snippet of your caption, and then move on.
Around the store.
Yeah, stories, they're nurturing your warmest audience and selling your offers. So, your stories is what is going to show your
I
personality.
feel like my haters watch my story.
Probably so. You have your stalkers in there. Lives, establishing trust, increasing your brand awareness, and converting. So again, this is probably what all of us don't love the most is going live because you stumble over your words. You're, vulnerable. You're all the things, but that's where you're going to get actually establish people's trust. So this kind of just breaks down how to get more likes. So those list that, how to get more comments. These is how to get your engagement. And show you what would get your engagement. Same thing for to get saves, which I don't think we probably have ever gotten. Maybe on TikTok we've gotten a couple saves, but we don't get a lot of that. Same thing for shares. So these are just listing the things that you can do for
God bless.
things. So this was interesting to me, especially the TikTok one, which I'm not a TikTok person, so maybe that's why it's so crazy to me. But this is how many times you should actually be online on those platforms. So on Instagram, 1.5 times a day to get engagement, Facebook 2 times a day. And that could be like a story and then like a reel or post and then like a carousel. Like it doesn't matter how. TikTok, it says as many times as you can, like 1 to 4 times a day. And that doesn't mean necessarily that you're posting it, like you're videoing it and it's you. It's like just sharing stuff or putting on your story or whatever.
I know you know this, Danielle, but like, especially on Instagram, like I follow a lot of like interior design or whatever. And so I will share a lot of reels for like interior design or whatever on my stories and Instagram. And I get a lot of engagement from that, but that's like a huge thing right now. It's like taking someone else, like putting there and you're getting that engagement.
Yeah. And same thing for LinkedIn, something I don't utilize as much as I should, but you're supposed to 20 times a month, you're supposed to put something on there. So, and that's again, sharing something, posting something, whatever it is. Let's go. Can I read that first? Okay. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Okay, so your feed versus your story. We are really focusing on our stories. That's kind of what she was talking about. We're doing this challenge, this 30-day challenge. So your feed posts accomplish 2 things. That's where you connect and educate your existing followers, the people that already follow your Instagram account. That's going to be in their just normal feed. And you can interact with them there. Second, your feed is supposed to reach new followers. These posts are searchable. So if somebody, that's kind of what I was talking about last week with the spotlighting. So they may not even be looking for a realtor, but if they put in coffee and she's spotlighted a coffee shop, she's going to be in that feed. So they're going to be in new followers. That's how the new followers are going to see you. And then your stories, they're exclusively viewed by people who are already following you or your stalkers. That's probably happening to everybody. The people that want to get to know you more and find out who you are on a deeper level and the behind the scenes. That's always a huge thing too. People want to see the behind the scenes and the bloopers. We talked about that yesterday. People want
Like
to
my
see.
stupid little TikTok last week for me hanging on the big old 6 out of signs, like trying to get in the ground, like have a ton of engagement.
Yeah. Okay. So Instagram stories are temporary. Obviously, we all know that. So they're more casual. They're going to reflect more of who you are. And then, yeah. And then let's see. Feed content is ideal for. Oh yeah. Again, this is for more new audiences, raising your brand awareness and attracting new followers. Okay, so this is the boring part of things, and I'm not going to go over all of this because this is on track. But again, like you have to have specifics. Like we were talking about this last week, I think, like anything you have on marketing, like 6 ads has to be like half the size of the largest font.
Yeah.
Like it has to be noticeable. And so you have to always have your logo or your brand.
Your
broker.
broker. They want to know who is responsible for the way you conduct business.
Yeah.
And the rule is that you have to have your broker, the broker font must be half the size of the largest name or phone number.
Yeah.
So you can't go like Mariah Thatcher's presents this beautiful home.
Yeah. It has to be it has to be, you have to be able to see it.
And don't make a mistake because you're going to look online. I mean, I see it all the time because I'm friends with, I don't know how many agents online, a lot. Majority of them are not compliant and it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Like you don't
Until it is.
Until it is.
But I'm telling you this, my friend Jason, who sits on those boards and somebody makes a complaint because somebody pisses somebody off about a repair or how a transaction, and that agent screenshots it and sends it into Greater Fort Worth. And it's like, then it costs you $3,000 because you didn't have information about broker services on there or your thing. And you're like, oh yeah.
I mean, it's a silly thing. It's like, somebody's gotten sued for it or gotten whatever.
I mean, it's
and
silly
then
as
tell
hell.
me,
You're that
why do
number.
we have to follow? Because that's what I tell people all the time. They're like, do this, do that. And I'm like, I can't. And they're like, that's silly. And I'm like, it's super silly. Like, I don't get it. But it's a rule for a reason and I'm gonna follow
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I do think some of these are,
So what are we talking about?
This is track compliant with marketing and advertising.
So, but,
so like,
specifically, yeah, like, sorry, you go ahead, but. Like a flyer on.
Flyer,
Everything.
flyers,
Anything.
anything you put on social media.
anything
or
you
outreach
advertise,
something.
if you send out a postcard.
Yeah.
If you put out a flyer for open house or anything, it has to be track compliant.
So if you even like, if you're just talking about your family, obviously you don't have to have anything.
No,
But if you even mention real estate in a reel, do you need to have the 6 Ave logo on there?
but your profile needs to reflect
Like
it.
this.
So that's what
Oh.
I was wondering.
And I
I'm
always
like,
tag
my
6
profile,
Ave, like,
Yes.
Yeah.
if you tag them, add them as a like collaborator, whatever, is that sufficient?
What do you think? I don't know. That's kind of a gray area. I think and I'm not, I don't.
I always tag in the post and I usually at them.
I think if your social media has the IMDS, the consumer notice, and the website for 6 Ave, which those are 3 things you have to have on all social media.
Mhm.
oh,
To go-
I would say one of you $25
and
to
Instagram?
add that.
You have to have their website.
Well, on
Oh,
Facebook,
and that's
there,
be directed
there-
back to 6 Ave.
there's some stuff on Facebook that you can put like it on your profile, go
Yeah.
there, and it's called bulletin board or something like that.
You can pin it.
You can pin it, but there's a place that you can make it the main thing. So I've got my IABS and my Trek compliance notice.
So I have a real estate bucket right there, but I also have 6 Ave's website. Obviously, I'm putting who I work with and all that stuff.
If
Like, I
you
feel
can have
like
your own website,
Yeah.
as long as when they click on your
it
website,
directs
you
back.
comply with track advertising rules.
And
Okay.
like they said, most people never get in trouble for this, even though probably 70% of them are not compliant. But it's that one time that Trek goes, oh, they've got a complaint. Now we're going to look at everything. And that's,
Well, and that is I'll just say, because I hear this from these boards that hand out these fines and fees and all this jazz and deal with complaints. It's like, once the complaint is filed on you, and then they're going to like bring it to where you come before the board, they start going through all of your stuff, looking
It's like the
to tag you.
IRS.
Yeah,
Mhm.
basically.
which is why we have that little piece of paper over there. That's the Trek notice. It has to be displayed in the brokerage. It has to be visibly displayed when you walk in. That's why it's sitting over there on the shelf.
Yeah.
It's
And I-
displayed.
And I just think as the real estate industry doubles down with all the drama
Mhm.
that's going on, people are going to get more and more petty about
Yeah, it will.
pointing someone out or
Go ahead.
So is this only for profiles, not when we're posting for open houses, that 6th Avenue has to have the sizing and all of that other stuff, right?
This is across the board.
no, this
from what I
would be
understand.
every time you
We post
advertise.
something on social media.
Like your
It's-
graphic.
Like if you did like, my house, like 8805 Sylvan Court, and like you said, Maria Gonzalez, it needs to say, 6th Avenue, and if your name is this, 6th Avenue needs to be 50% of what that is.
Yeah.
So the best rule of thumb is if you're going to put your name and your phone number on there, just make sure you put 6th Avenue Homes half the size of what your name is. As long as you're close to that,
Yeah.
you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think I put.
well, like if you ever watch my videos that I post on YouTube, I always put the 6th Ave logo down in the bottom right-hand corner. It's small, but it's there. If they ever got to me, I'd go, I'm
It's
not,
there. Yeah.
it's there.
And I would say like, I'm not talking smack, but anyways, I would say KW agents are the worst about this.
KW has a
About
really bad
compliance.
habit. They'll put their name big, even their signs, they'll have like a little KW down in the corner. And I can look at that sign and go, I don't know who that's brokered by. And that's probably a violation.
Yeah.
But so is putting a sign up on Thursday and not putting it on the market till Monday. And that'll cost you $2,000.
Yeah. I mean, again, stupid, silly rules. I mean, I would disagree with a lot of these, but I just hear the drama and I'm like, oh.
Well, and so I did want to go over number 2 because a lot of times we'll just be like, oh, it's the Holly Elrod team, even though I don't have a team or whatever, If that's the case, it has to be followed by brokered by 6th Avenue, but they can't think that you are the broker of that team. Like it has to have that. That was big at EXP.
I
Like
was gonna
that.
say EXP
was- Oh my God.
hammered on
On
this
that,
stuff.
yeah.
Sheila Dunnigan.
Uh-huh. Wonder-
If you have a marketing team or group, it has to be registered with Trek. That's a new one that just came in. And there's some new rules to that I haven't been versed on yet that I'm going to get some clarity on. But if you use like Danielle Manzella Realty Group, it has to be registered with Trek.
That's not what I'm doing. I thought you meant if I hired a marketing team.
No. If you're
Okay.
marketing yourself under a
Oh, yeah, yeah,
CNA.
yeah.
But
And
that's
so-
new too, because it was, I remember Keller Williams was like, you can call it the Council team. if you
No,
want to
well,
too."
okay, so when we were at EXP, which I will say they were compliance
No,
Nazis.
They were.
I mean, really. And if you would have gotten in trouble, they're mad at your back anyways. So you might as well follow the rules. But like for us to use the Lone Star Real Estate Group, whatever we were, like we had to go to the county, file a DBA, then send it to EXP, and then send it to Trek. And then when you would pull EXP's like state broker,
Roster.
like it would be underneath Sheila Dunnigan, like the Lone Star Real Estate Group, doing business as.
All the haters watch the stories. Oh, that was from a
Yeah.
few minutes ago. Sorry, I didn't see that post. I just now saw it.
Same thing if you use like,
Yeah, right.
you cannot use, like, if you wanted to say Holly Elrod Company or an associates, I can't do that.
No,
They can't, because you're
you don't have
not,
authority.
yes, it has to be Holly Elrod Real Estate or something,
Yeah.
something generic.
No, in the state of Texas, if you run a team and it is registered as DBA, it has to end in group or team.
Or realty.
Yeah.
Or
I
realty.
thought that's in there.
There's,
I think it's in there.
there's a word in there.
Yeah.
I
that-
thought I had to do there for our group, because that's what we struggled with.
You just can't use brokerage company or associates.
Yeah.
Those are the big ones that they harp on. All this stuff, when I post this on Slack, all of the actual rules are going to be right there under what you need to know.
Yeah.
Okay. You drop down. I think we were right there. We were not yet
Yeah.
right there.
Uh,
Even if you're a team of one and using any marketing name besides what's on your license,
that's what
you must register as a team group.
Other than what's in your license.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let you guys hit this last couple
Be a
more.
wise business owner, know what you can and can't do, check advertising and marketing rules, lending rules, and 6th Avenue
That's
company policies. So, and then this is straight from the website, so I'm not gonna read it all.
Can
but
I
you can-
also put in one thing?
Yeah.
Just because I see it all the time and I am that petty person that'll report you. If you advertise somebody else's listing, you have to credit that brokerage, like that listing. I don't know exactly what all the rules are, and you need to get permission.
Written permission, yeah.
And that is a thing that people don't do.
Mhm.
Like we live next door to my listing on 18th. I watched 2 agents go through and they didn't disclose that that's what they were doing. They scheduled an appointment, did 2 walkthrough videos, and they gave me feedback. So maybe they were doing a walkthrough video for a client, but they did not ask for permission. They didn't ask for any of that. So just make sure that you're doing it.
Does it have to be written?
I would.
Email.
Yeah.
Email
Or
fun.
just, I mean, not like handwritten, but yes.
I mean, yeah, say it like, 'cause I would at least get in a text, that way it's like,
That's what I
oh,
would do.
you
Yeah.
told me I could.
And what listing agent's not gonna give you permission to
I've
market
had
that
it happen.
listing? But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
what listing agent, I mean, I'm like, yeah, sure, market my property.
I follow Danny Hampton and she'll send emails and say, just so you know, you have my permission, and then it's already there. And I highly recommend you doing that anyways, because yes, it's free advertising.
Jana?
A couple of points on that. You can look at the listing online and see if you have approval to video. I don't know if that translates to posting or advertising, but I know that that is one checkpoint. And then anything that is brokered by 6th Avenue, you can do whatever you want with, because the listing belongs to 6th Avenue, not the listing agent. So just to clarify on that piece of it too.
Yeah. So you got, when y'all text me and go, can we market your houses? Why would I not let you market my houses?
I mean, it's crazy not to let somebody post it all over the place, but
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. You don't want to find that one. I mean, and I'll text you and be like, hey, can you either tag us or just take it down? I've only had it happen once and it was a crazy agent. But I dealt with, an old guard agent that had a crappy listing, crappy photos. I asked him if I could post it and he goes, no. And he said no. And I was like, okay, great.
That's so cool. You want to sell that house. I
You're
can tell.
Thank you, ladies, very much for this informative content. I'll post both of these links to those documents on Slack this afternoon. I'm sorry, Kristen had something else? Oh, there's-
Oh, about the option in MLS. Yeah.
I did, but I was just kind of like going to reiterate what Jenna just said.
Yep.
Basically.
cool. Very good. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Again, I will get this up this afternoon so that you guys have all this. I hope that so next week, Miss Jana will be here in person doing her listening presentation at 10 o'clock. So everybody come next Wednesday at 10 o'clock and let's make her feel really important and really good because she's very good at
You
this.
guys, for Pete's sakes. Hey,
So
I
we'll
will
make-
tell you, I got it all ready yesterday. I literally spent like the whole day on it because I'm like, okay, I have to think in terms of presenting to a group, and I don't ever do that. So it's all ready to go. But Brian, can I do it with my laptop, or do I have to somehow log into one that's connected to the TV, or how does that work?
I'll need your presentation. If you can put it in a Google Doc or into something that you can share with me through Google Drive, then I'll present it from my laptop and you'll just tell me when to move. That way we can record it so everybody can keep it.
Okay, I'll have to figure that out because it's all online. It's like websites and stuff. So
That's completely fine. As long as you've got a document with all those links in it, I can just put the links. Should be no big deal. We'll work
Okay.
it out.
All right.
So very good. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Let me know if you have any questions. Everybody that ordered a writer, it's out here. You can go ahead and take the writer. You can take the panel if you want to. I'll get the frames to you when I can. So that's it.
On the sign.
All right. Bye, you guys.
Bye, Kristen.
Anybody has like the big 6 tab like metal sign that I bought a bunch last year, 2 years ago?